You know how some studios make movies after video games? But what happens when you make a game that's a movie? What's up, guys? I'm ATLX Matrix. Welcome back. So, today we're going to be talking to you guys about the newest game in the Dark Pictures Anthology collection called House of Ashes. This game, if you guys are not familiar, allows you to make decisions in kind of like a movie-ish style format. So you influence the decisions of the characters in the game that can actually change the outcome of the game. I'm going to have Riyad here, and we're going to give you our honest review about this game. And hey guys, let me take a second and remind you that we are streaming on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Hope to see you guys there, and a special shukran to Riyad for helping me out with this. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. For me, my biggest thing for House of Ashes was the goddamn skill checks. Like, the game gives you a tutorial, right? And it's part of the story, and it tells you, hey, there's gonna be skill checks, you're gonna make decisions, and blah blah blah, and you're going to do this, but the game doesn't
Yeah.
tell you whether or not you have to click it, which button you're clicking. Like, for me, I played on PC. If I was playing on a controller, like, obviously it would tell me, hey, X, Y, A, B, whatever. But it's like I was playing on a mouse, and the little mouse cursor for me was difficult to decipher on which button left or right click. So
Yeah.
that for me is the biggest thing, because just having that, knowing how to use it correctly, or using a controller would have probably made the game a lot better, and we probably would have ended the game differently if I was able to decipher which thing to use as a skill check.
Yeah.
Because there's multiple times where I was like, I'm pressing it, I'm pressing it, and shit still happened.
Yeah. For me, not that bad thing. The bad thing is the movement. This it's really bad and slowly you feel oh my god, you don't want to play the game because of the movement. It's so bad and I don't like it at all.
I mean, as far as the movement
This is
goes,
one of
the movement was it feels kind of weird. Uh,
yeah.
I feel, again, like, for me, I feel like if you were playing on a controller, the game would be much better. Like, playing on a controller, because then you're gonna have a joystick to move your character instead of
Yeah.
WSAD. You're gonna have that, and you're gonna be using the other analog stick to kind of like move around and have like I feel like more of a fluid movement instead of such a, like, when you're on a mouse, like, we're moving quickly. We're looking around. So I feel like maybe being on an analog stick would probably make that a little bit smoother and a more fluid type of movement. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah, but I hate the movement, to be honest. Like some of the movement the places in this game, you feel the movement is really slowly, and sometimes you feel that you can't change the player watching the right side or the left side is really slow.
Okay.
So this is one of the bad thing in this game,
Okay.
I would say it.
Um all right, well, I mean, going from like the movement and stuff like that, I feel like some of the cuts in the game when you're switching from scene to scene can be
Yeah.
really slow or a little bit jarring. Uh, Namely, going in and out of a cutscene can be kind of jarring, and
Yeah.
maybe it's just because it's kind of like a hard cut, and then you're switching back to your character really quickly, especially in like
Yeah.
some of the action sequences. You're feeling, I don't know. For me, that was it, and some of it was kind of glitchy a little bit some of the time. So it's like some of the times, like, you would be in a cutscene, and when you're coming out of the cutscene, it would feel like the game was kind of like hesitating to come out of the cutscene to go back to you using a character.
That's true. Yeah.
Um,
But
and then, like, to just going, like, building onto that, like, when you're, like, from a player standpoint of it, until
yeah.
you like, get further into the game and you're noticing, like, how the game is switching from player to player and, like, cutting. So it's like you could be making a decision for one of the characters, like Eric, for example, which is
Yeah.
Lieutenant Colonel, and then you're switching to Nick, which I think was he's one of the Marines, and when you the game doesn't tell you, hey, you're switching from this character to this character until you notice at the bottom left of your screen, it's telling you, it's saying, it's like giving you kind of like a cut to let you know
Yeah.
that you're going from like whatever character that you were playing. And then at the bottom left of the screen, as the camera like cuts to that character, it's saying, okay, you're gonna play as Nick now.
Yeah. And that's take me to my second point, the timer when you're gonna choose your decision.
I
I
don't
feel
know.
look, it's really good. It's really good. But some of the part of the game, the timer is really fast than usual. So you're gonna fucked up because you don't have time to read, you don't have time to do anything. So you're just gonna fucked up. They
Well, I
want you to.
mean, I I feel like that goes along with the difficulties. So it's like my dumbass, like I want to play the most difficult, the highest difficulty level that I can, like right out of the gate.
That's a good thing. That's a
Well,
good thing.
that's what I want to do because it's like number one, I want a challenge and stuff like that. So it's like maybe the timer would be slower playing it like on normal or easy instead of playing it on I forget what it was called, but the hardest difficulty right out of the gate. So I think that's what it had to do with. But if you're playing it, speaking on the timer, if you're playing it and you're streaming it, for example, you're not able to interact with chat or let chat like interact with like that decision making because it's like if you're streaming on Twitch, for example, there could be a delay, and you're not gonna have enough time to be like, all right, chat, what are we deciding? Are we saying nothing? Are we doing this? Are we doing something negative? What are we doing?
Yeah,
What do you guys want to do? There's not enough time for that to happen.
that's true. That's happened with you and on.
Oh no, absolutely. It happened with me on stream and I was like, "Well, god dang, dude, there's no chance." And it's like you can't expect if if that's what you're wanting to do with your viewers, I highly suggest probably going to a lower difficulty and maybe
Yeah.
that affects the timer, which it would make sense if the difficulty affected the timer. It would make more sense.
I'm not sure if that different. Like if the difficulty is different, the timer gonna change because the one you play, the timer was fucked up. Like sometimes you just pick anything because you don't have time to read,
Yeah.
and I hate
Yeah.
that. I hate that. You just click on anything,
Right.
and the
Right.
problem in this game, if you click on anything, it's gonna change everything on story.
Possibly. I feel like
Yeah,
I mean, like this brings me to like another point, at least for me on the negative side of this
yeah,
game is it doesn't really it's kind of slow moving or like the story is building up, which I understand why they do it, but it's like,
yeah,
it kind of like the tutorial throws you into like the shit that's happening like 2231 BC and you're like, "What the trailer showed me like as being like playing as a marine and shit." And you're like, what the hell is going
yeah.
on? But it's like it's bringing you into the story, it's showing you the backstory. So it takes a while to get like really going and really compelling, at least in my opinion. But
Yeah,
there's other nuances going into until it gets to that point to where it's like, oh, it's action packed and this and that. You're learning the backstories of the characters. You're doing this, and you're making decisions with those characters. So I feel like, honestly, man, that's really about it. Other than like, there's a ton of foreshadowing going into like the actions part of the game. There's a lot of
yeah,
foreshadowing getting there, and you're like, okay, well, what does this mean? What does this mean? What is this? Oh, well, this might mean something. And I mean, I like that, and then I kind of don't like it because I would much rather. This is just me. I would much rather, be like surprised because it's like when you're you're playing as Salim, which is one of the characters that you can play as. He has a son, and you're going through his room, and you find this book, and the
Yeah,
book shows you the creatures that you're going to encounter already. And it's like I would
yeah,
like even on stream, like we were talking about it, and I was like, "What is this?" It's like I would have much rather have just been like surprised. It would have been much more of like a horror factor if that
yeah,
wasn't there. But then again, like even if you're watching a movie or whatever, there's tons of foreshadowing everywhere.
yeah. Speaking of Salim, speaking of Arabic accent,
Mm-hmm.
that's the bad thing in this game.
Okay.
I was really upset, and you know why? You're not doing a game in Iraq and using a fucking Egyptian accent. This is two fucking different countries, by the way. We are 25 Arabic countries. You need to know that 25 countries speaking different languages. You're not gonna make a story in Iraq, then use an Egyptian to do the voice act. Bro, if you take 2 minutes, I take 2 minutes, okay? To Google that, there's
Mm-hmm.
400,000 people from Iraq going inside US from 2015 to 2020. You can't find one person to do the voice act? That's impossible. Bro, you can do that. One person is enough to do the voice act with Iraqi accent. You're not gonna use Egyptian to do the Arabic accent. That's fucked up.
I mean, speaking
That's really
from
fucked up.
speaking from my dumbass American side of it, if you were to ask me, I'd been like, sounds good to me, bro.
Bro, 2 minutes is enough to know everything.
Okay.
Like, if you're gonna make a story in Iraq, you're not gonna use someone from Egyptian because it's a fucking different country.
Okay. Dude, I understand what you're saying.
Look, anyone Arabic playing this game, I probably gonna laugh because
Well,
because
I'm
you're gonna say
curious if they
what the fuck
changed
is
it.
going on in this like I know Iraq people doesn't say that accent, doesn't talk in
Mhm.
that accent because this is for a different country.
I mean,
Just you can look into Google and take 2 seconds. That's enough to know everything.
okay.
Seriously.
I can tell you, at least from like I said, like from my dumbass American's perspective, is sounded good to me, bro. It sounded pretty good.
because because you're not Arab. So if you one of us, you're gonna know the difference.
Look, this is okay. You're talking about like the accents and stuff like there. So it's like
Yeah.
you've got one of the guys in there playing and it sounds like he done like this the whole time. All right. That is the like for me, that is the most annoying thing for the entire thing. But look, man, there is people that talk like that.
Yeah,
That's the
but
thing.
okay, but imagine, okay? Imagine that story happened in New York, okay?
Okay.
And the people in that story talking with Texas accent.
I wouldn't have any issue.
You make a story in fucking New York. We
Uh-huh.
want to hear the New York. I don't
Okay.
want to hear a different fucking accent.
For me, like as far as like speaking on like a movie made in New York and having a Texas accent, for me it wouldn't be that big of a deal because it's like if you're in America, it's like dude, there's people everywhere. There could be Texans living in New York. There could be Georgians living in New York, Tennessee,
Yeah, but
Louisiana, wherever.
but if you're talking about story in New York and everyone is speaking that Texas accent, it's gonna be
Okay.
annoying for you.
Right. All right. Okay. I get what you're
Yeah,
saying.
because you make a story in New York. What the fuck is going on? Everyone's talking Texas accent. You
I
know,
get it.
it's the
I
same.
get
You
it.
making a story in Iraq,
Yeah.
and you take Egyptian people to do the accent for Iraq. That's a different country. That's a fucking different accent. You know,
I get it
when I
'cause
hear that,
I
when
know.
I hear that for the first time, You remember what I type in your chat? I
Yeah,
told you no fucking way.
I thought it
That's
was
fucked
funny.
up.
I thought it was funny because you were flipping out about it, and I was just like, sounds good.
No,
It sounds
no,
good. Because I don't know. I
no.
don't know. But
Yeah,
no, okay. But it's
I
like for
hate that
me,
most of the games thinking that all the Arab become one accent.
well, I
So
mean,
everything
it's
is
like
Egyptian. Everything is Egyptian. Whatever is the country, we're gonna make the voice act is from Egyptian. That's all good. No, it's fucking different. It's fucking different.
I get it. I mean,
Like,
like I said, like you've pointed out, it's like if you're in America, you're gonna have different accents across the
yeah,
board. So it's like I'm gonna say things that maybe somebody on the other side of my country is gonna say in a different way or a different accent. So it's like I get what you're
yeah,
saying, but I mean, as far as the game goes, I think you were saying that the translation or like the Arabic translation was actually pretty good.
yeah. That's one of the good things
You were
that
cutting out.
really is everything
You're
good
good.
now.
You're good now.
One this is one of the best thing in this game. The translate. It's really correct. Everything is really correct, like 100%, and I like it. I like it. They
Nice.
translate everything and very well.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So like go like do you have any other negatives for the game? Because it's like honestly, man, that's the
No,
that's the end
I
of
think
that's it. That's all I got.
me too. That's it.
All right.
I was really annoying about the accent, Arabic voice actors. That's it. That's the top of the bad things for me in this game.
I got you. Okay.
Nothing else.
Well, all right. Well, then that's a nice way to move into the positives of the game or the pros rather. So it's
Oh, okay.
like for me, like I want to save your most favorite part that you enjoyed the most of this game for the end. All
Okay.
right. So it's like
Yeah.
for me, like there's so many pros. Like being able, like number one, the game doesn't feel like a game. It feels like a movie, and you are
Yeah.
it eventually like it builds you into it, and it's very immersive. Like you feel like you build a like relationship. Excuse me, you build a relationship for like each of the characters in the game, which is I thought was amazing because like by the end of the game, I was like, oh man, this happened to this person and so forth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, and then talking about like the soundtrack, the soundtrack was great throughout the
It's really
whole
good.
game. Like even in like the horror parts of the game where it's meant to be scary, you're getting that horror style music. You're feeling it. It's getting your heart going. It was good. I really
Yeah.
like that.
Speaking
Um,
of that, the game is a movie. We say that because it's probably 60%, 70% of the game you're gonna watch. You're not gonna do anything.
right.
You just making it decide. You just decide what's gonna happen next. That's it.
I got you.
So that's why we say it. It's a movie. It's not a game.
Speaking of the game as a movie, I thought the getting the story across or like the backstory and discovering like what happened in this place from the other explorers and seeing and finding the things that they left behind, finding those
Yeah.
clues, finding like little pictures that allow you to get a cutscene that gives you like the backstory and fills you in on what's going on and kind of it brings you and brings that immersion back like all the way through to it to like, oh, what's happening? How are we gonna get out of here? What happened to these
Yeah.
people? Did they actually get out? You know what I mean?
And I like all the information about the old people, the old culture that was there. It's really true. When you Google it and you can find everything about it. And everything in that story is real. They
Wow.
not just create that story. It's real.
Yeah, I
And I
thought
was shocked.
dude, I was shocked like cuz it's like while we were playing it, it's like I was googling and learning about like the main the creature that we were going up against was they had called it's called a Pazuzu. And that's
Yeah.
like that's a real thing. Like
This is the
That's
first time that
real.
I heard about it. Yeah.
This is the first time like that I've ever heard about it, and it's like the game made me want to figure out. Okay, wait a minute, where the fuck did they come up with this, and what is it about? So it's like that was
Yeah.
really cool, man.
And by the way, all that culture, all the stuff, it's really in Iraq. If you Google it,
Really,
so
it's
they
really in
make a
Iraq.
story and the culture from the same country. That's fucking amazing. You learn something about that culture and you learn something about that country. It's really good. I like it.
I mean, I know that we were speaking. You were well, rather you have an issue with the whole Egyptian accent doing playing
Yeah.
a guy that's Iraqi,
All
and
respect to Egyptian people, but I'm talking about game in different country, so they need to speak that accent.
I get it, but it's like for me, it's like
Yeah.
or at least the feeling of it. Like I think the voice actors did an amazing job. They really honestly made you feel like when they were scared, like you're getting scared. Like you could feel like that. They feel like they're actually scared. You
Yeah.
does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like it feels good because like there's a lot of games out there that are just like you got somebody that's just like, "Oh, let me read the script." And they're like monotone and it's not good. Like you can tell like when they're getting excited, you can tell when they're scared, you can tell when they're screaming. It actually feels like they're in that moment.
Yeah, the voice actors in this game, they did a great job, to be
They
honest.
they did
They
a great job.
just not reading from script and just say it in a mic. No, they trying to make you feel the emotionally and all the stuff. If he's scared, if he happy, all the stuff. That's they did a great job with that.
Yeah, I think so. And like, you know, building onto that, like the character models, dude, they looked great. The graphics, they were great. I
Yeah,
thought they looked great. That I mean, there's like the detail in like the like the detail of like the landscape and the environments that you're in, bro.
yeah,
It looked good. Like I felt like we were in something that we were traveling through some shit that was all the way
yeah,
back from that time, like 2200 BC. Like that's what it felt like.
yeah.
And that's I mean, that's what
That's
it looked like.
and I like how they was everyone fighting. Then the hole in the ground and everyone is falling down, and you start a new story, and everyone trying to trust the other person or
Mhm.
doesn't trust them. I like that.
No,
Seriously,
I thought that was good.
this is a good way to change the whole story and make it a fucking difference.
Because when we cuz like I like to go into games uh I don't want to say blind, but as blind as possible. So it's like I kind of have an idea of like what the game is going to be about, but it's like I want to experience everything for the first time playing the game. And like when we open the game and it's like they're in Iraq, it's 2003, I was like,
Yeah,
oh shit, like where is this game going to go? Like how is this going to actually be? And
yeah,
I feel like you've got that story of like how the Marines feel and stuff like looking for chemical weapons and stuff like
yeah,
that in Iraq. And then once the shit starts hitting the fan and and like the ground caves in and everybody falls into the
yeah,
cavern into like this old I don't want to say what was it? It's not a castle, it's like a place built for the old gods, right?
yeah,
Or the moon goddess. Okay, they fall into
yeah,
that, and then it's like, okay, well, now we're in like survival mode. Can we trust these other guys? And it's like your point of the game is to whether or not you use because you get to play as Salim, and
yeah,
he's like the main character from the other side of it. So it's like you've got to figure out whether or not you're gonna trust him, and is he gonna trust the Americans? What how's it meshed together?
yeah,
And
yeah.
you as the player get to build that relationship with those characters, which I thought was amazing.
Let's talk about Salim,
Okay,
who make that character. He's a fucking genius. You know why?
why?
because Salim, the only character in this game that you can trust, but in the next second you need to trust. You know what? Then the other second he leave you behind and run. So
Yeah.
you say, I'm not gonna trust him next time. I don't give a shit about him. But when the next scene happen, you need to trust. So Salim is the person who make you confused in this game if
Hmm.
you can trust him or not. That's a fucking G. You
No,
know?
dude, it was great.
And that
That's
happened with you. That
it
happened with
did. It did. I was
you.
like, it
He make
was
you way confused.
right. Salim was the character that it brought that like feeling. Okay, well, can we trust this guy? Because it's like obviously we need more people to help get out of here, and it's like the way that the voice acting of the character and the way that the character just seemed, it was like, oh, you're not really sure if you can trust this guy, and you definitely can't trust Dar, which is his commanding officer.
Yeah. That he wanted to kill everyone.
Oh yeah, dude. He wanted to kill all the
Yeah.
Americans. He was done with that shit. All the Americans, he was done with it. But
Yeah.
I do have to say, continuing on about the story. I thought going from like, okay, we're learning about like this demon mythology, we're learning about this stuff, and then turns out like you keep discovering and you keep going deeper, and like the curator guy, when like you get to certain points in the game, like you'll cut to him and he'll be talking to you, telling you about like who's actually dead and who's not dead, and
Yeah.
or well, rather he leaves out the people that you think are dead, and he doesn't actually say that they're dead, and you're like, okay, well, why didn't he talk about them? The story progresses, it keeps progressing, and then you finally figure out like these things are here from another goddamn planet.
Yeah.
I thought that was insane. Like, cause I'm thinking, okay,
That's fucking
this is
great.
supernatural, this is demon stuff, and then you just it flipped me on its head and on my head, and I was like, dude, they're fucking aliens,
Yeah. The
dude.
good
I
thing
was like,
also
bro,
the flash
the what?
this the flashback in this game.
The flashback? Okay,
Yeah. Because you don't need to go in Google and watching all the stuff and learn about this culture. The flashbacks in this game gonna teach you everything.
oh yeah.
And I like it. Yeah.
So
They're
that I
gonna
mean,
teach
that's what I
you
was
what
talking
is
about.
going on in this place. They're gonna teach you who's this people, when this people be here, what is going on here, everything.
Yeah,
That's the flashbacks in this game, and I was fucking and I see it fucking to do that because it's
yeah.
taking 2 minutes from you. I think every time, but
Hmm.
you learn something. You learn something about this.
Right, right. So it's like you're learning, and it's like with those flashbacks and stuff, they're talking about like these creatures, what's happening to people that's been affected by these creatures, and you're like,
Yeah,
okay, this is okay. We went from like this demon mythology, and now we're going into like, oh, are they like vampires? Are they vampires? Because
yeah,
like they're sucking blood, they need blood to survive, and all this other stuff, and you're like, what are we actually fighting? Until
yeah.
until you get to the end of the game, you're like, holy shit,
The alien. Yeah,
they're aliens.
yeah,
But
yeah.
so
That's
go
really
ahead.
great.
Yeah, oh
That's
dude,
really great.
it was so good. So do you have any other like pros for the game? So it's like we covered the graphics, it's very immersive, the story was great. Salim was that
The-
character that kind of divided you, uh the relationships that you develop for each character.
Also, the top thing that I want to say,
Yeah.
thank you for the game because they told me there is next game coming soon.
Yeah.
The Devil in Me, not the same thing we've been talking about in Back for Blood. They fucking end the game and nothing to know. No, this game just tell you, wait, there's something, and
Yeah.
makes me really excited to get the new game. And because that trailer for the game, it's really insane. The Devil in Me.
Oh dude. That
And
that
I
was
was
good.
really excited to see that because they tell you, okay, next year we have another game. By the way, you
Yeah.
should be excited. Yeah,
Dude,
Back
I
for
am.
Blood. We've been talking about it.
Yeah.
They finished the story and
That's
done.
it.
You
Yeah.
don't know anything. So
Right.
thank you for the game to tell me about it.
Right. So it's like you've got the end of the game kind of ended with you know, you get the ending cutscene and then it goes to the credits. If
Yeah.
you finish the game and you're watching those credits, stick with the damn credits because you get to see the actual ending of the game to like what happened to the characters that you let survive, and then you
Yeah.
get to see
Also
the
that.
trailer. You get to see the trailer for the next game, which is The Devil in Me, which looks fucking awesome. Like I'm so
Yeah.
excited to play that one. Consider like be just because of House of Ashes. It was so great. I had such a great
You
time.
know. You know what I like? The end of the game, you're gonna see all your decisions, what happened to people there, and that when you're thinking that happened, that person died, that person happened to him because of you.
Yeah.
That's all of that because of you, and I
So
like it.
dude, that like being able to like carry out or decide what happens with these characters, like make these decisions and these choices for these
Yeah,
characters that have consequences in the game that you don't know what's going to happen if you make a decision and then you get somebody killed. You're like, "Oh, well shit." And it's like apparent like you can actually go through the game and have everyone make it out. But I feel like that was kind of okay, that's a great thing that everybody can survive. But
yeah,
I think having those people, it's like I liked a couple of the characters that I ended up accidentally getting killed, and I was like, oh,
yeah.
they're gone. You know what I mean?
Uh,
So I feel
yeah,
like that was great.
and also not every character that you're gonna like. So
Yeah,
most of them you're gonna say fuck him. You're gonna die. I don't care about him.
yeah, some
So
of
you
them for
care
sure.
about some of the people, some of the characters,
hmm
and you don't care about the others. That's the good thing. You don't
Especially
want everyone to leave.
especially Ashley Tisdale's character, bro. The
Oh,
entire game, like, dude, no, don't get me wrong, like she did a great job acting that character,
yeah.
but I hated her. I hated
I
her.
don't like her at all.
Just from the shit in the game. Like her character, I was just like, bro, we're gonna let you die.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't give a shit about that character. You don't want that
No.
character to stay alive.
But I mean,
For
granted,
sure.
it's like you're not gonna like every character in the game. But so this leads me to my point, unless you have any other pros that you'd like to talk about.
No.
Okay. So this leads me to like the best part of this is the tribe rating. And I know that it sounds like you have a really good number for this. So, would you like to first of all give me your tribe rating and let me know if you would recommend this game and why?
You want the rating for this game?
I do. Everybody's waiting to
Ah.
hear.
I would give it 6.
A solid 6.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. All right. Why?
Because I hate the movement. I hate the timer because it's usual. Sometimes it's faster than usual.
Mhm.
I hate my biggest problem with this game, Arabic accent. And I would say that I hate the whatever it's called, the characters. Okay,
Okay.
the characters sometimes the graphics when you're looking at you, there's a glitchy thing.
Okay. Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
The cuts are a little
yeah,
glitchy. I got you.
yeah, and I hate that. So that's why I give it 6. If I'm gonna recommend it to someone, yeah, it's $30. I would spend the money. It's really amazing because you're not gonna play it one time
Right.
because you can go back and play it and change the end. Can do a lot of stuff with. So yeah, I would recommend it for
Okay.
sure.
All right. So, wow. Okay,
What
you went a
about
little. You
you?
went. You went a little lower than I thought you were gonna go. Just to be quite honest with you. So it's like
Ah,
for me, this one was difficult just because it's more of like a game or more of like a movie than a game,
yeah,
and I think so. Like for me, my rating would be I feel like my rating is gonna be kind of high, but I'm sticking with it. I've made it. I think
Okay.
House of Ashes for me 7.3. 7.3 for me. House of
Why?
Ashes because the graphics were great, the character development was amazing. The being like being able to make the decisions for those characters and have to deal with the consequences later. The story, like so many like twists and turns. I loved it. The difficulty of it. Granted, that could be me going in straight out of the gate on the hardest difficulty with the skill checks and stuff like that. But I like that. I liked the challenge. And I feel like a lot of other people will like that challenge as well.
Yeah.
Soundtrack, and I felt like uh, I was very immersed into the game. And as far as like my biggest cons were, the movement thing is a thing, but I feel like playing on a controller that would probably go away a little bit. The cutscenes were a little glitchy at times, and like cutting from character to
Yeah.
character was a little glitchy and stuff like that. But honestly, I think 7.3 is a good rating, and if I was going to recommend it, I would say absolutely, absolutely play this game. Just know that you're going to be sitting here for a good 5 hours watching a movie and making decisions, which is nice because this is the first game that I've ever played that was like this, and I had a great time with it. So I would absolutely
Uh,
recommend. I would just say, just be aware of like the little nuances such as like the movement, the camera, and the difficulty with the skill checks and so forth.
yeah. I think we good.
Okay,
We
so
good with the rating.
yeah, I think we're good. So Riyadh over here with a firm 6,
Yeah.
Matrix with a 7.3. There you go. There's your House of Ashes tribe rating. Thank you guys for hanging out. So and Riyadh, thank you for
Yeesh.
helping me out, man.
You're welcome.